Jim Brown was on Arsenio Hall's show, and he said some pretty unique, controversial comments about Kobe Bryant. As we all know, Jim Brown had a legendary career at Syracuse University, the best football player to ever come out of Syracuse. Sorry, Donovan McNabb. And he was a civil rights activist. He helped society in so many ways, though there were other criminal activities on the side, supposedly. So here's what he said about Kobe Bryant, if we could pull up the quote. When Arsenio Hall asked him, he said he threw Shaq under the bus. And then there were oohs and ahs throughout the crowd. Everyone reacts. And then he goes, he is somewhat confused about culture because he was brought up in another country, as in Italy, but like for a second. So it doesn't quite fit with what's happening in America. Okay, already off the bat, your reaction is?
Calm down. I don't know. Calling him other too much with whole like he was brought up in another country, therefore he doesn't get it. The whole Shaq thing, we already know what happened. That's fine. I don't mind him saying that part because whatever, it's over now. I mean, eventually Shaq would have gotten caught. But I mean, I don't like the whole part about, yeah, he's not really an American. The whole like you're not an American thing, which he didn't say openly.
No, but he
insinuated it.
Yeah.
Yeah. So far I'm against him.
Here's the second part. Maybe he'll sway you back. In the days when we had a summit and we called the top black athletes together to talk to Muhammad Ali about his status with the armed forces, there were some athletes we didn't call, of course, because Muhammad Ali did not want to go into the armed forces. So if I had to call that summit all over, there would be some athletes I wouldn't call, and Kobe would be one of them. Your second reaction, Mr. Jackson.
He's right.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Really?
But the only thing is, I mean, to get the full grasp of this, there's tons of other athletes he wouldn't call. All of them today.
We have Kobe Bryant's tweet as well. He responded to Jim Brown, and here's what he said. A global African American is an inferior shade to American African Americans? That doesn't sound very Mandela or Dr. King, sir. You're grinning. Why?
You know what, man? I never could stand Kobe Bryant. And since
seriously?
You guys know how much I hate the Lakers and Kobe.
Yeah, I know.
And actually, that's why I'm glad, when there was those rumors of him leaving the Lakers, I was like, please don't, because I really don't like you, and I really don't like the Lakers. This is a perfect marriage. But since he's joined Instagram and Twitter and all that, man, I've loved Kobe Bryant.
Really?
His online persona is awesome. When he gets on the court, I'm like, I hope he loses every game. And when he gets behind the computer, I'm like, Kobe Bryant is the shit.
What sort of athletes could you see, black athletes, not like a Chris Kluwe type, or maybe Brendan Ayanbadejo could be the one, but which black athletes now would be the ones to try and change people's mindset and mentalities and try to open up their minds to different ideas? Look, what athletes and African American people went through in the past, inconceivable to compare to what's going on right now. But with the...
But the thing is, there are still some things that affect the black American community that aren't addressed or overlooked. The light isn't shone on them enough. And the only time it ever gets highlighted is when, when, say, the president brings up something. I mean, the last big thing that everyone paid attention to was the Stand Your Ground law and the murder of Trayvon Martin, all that stuff. So that's the only time it was brought up because collectively, a large portion of the country was talking about it. It wasn't a black people issue where it was driven by, even though a lot of people that were against the attention that it received, a lot of them were mad about that, and they were saying, "Oh, black people driving this. Oh, look at the Jesse Jacksons. Look at the Al Sharptons coming out." So there was anger towards just the spotlight being shown on that, but. The thing is, there's a lot of issues that are going on with prison systems and education systems and the way black folks are treated in those aspects without an opportunity to come up. And I don't think many people really know about it, even a lot of these athletes. They're just not and the ones that aren't going to talk about it because they know we're in the age of Twitter, Facebook, the internet in general. And there's blogs that want to have something to talk about, and there's commenters that want to have something else to talk about, and there's people on YouTube that write and post something else about you, and your career gets destroyed.
So we're going to talk about should athletes be on Twitter later on in the show, but you brought up an interesting point with Trayvon Martin, and we saw a lot of athletes, most notably LeBron James, when he had the Miami Heat all put their hoods up, heads down, and they all took a picture. There were many other athletes and reporters, you could say, that put the hoodie up and had that as their Twitter avatar. would LeBron James be one of those guys that would potentially be called, or is it because we are in this day and age where everyone is so fragile and everyone is so afraid to say the wrong thing instead of standing up for the right thing?
The things you'd like for them to be, I mean, again, he has a huge base. We're talking LeBron James.
Yeah.
And I think he knows what's going on. I didn't want to overshadow the fact that many athletes do have a grasp on what's going on in our world, in our country. But we don't know it. We can't tell because they're not saying anything. And honestly, I don't blame them for it. So I think we
You
mentioned
don't
this.
blame them for it at all?
I don't blame them. Yeah, because you know what? You're probably doing more harm than good at this point.
Unfortunately, yeah.
Yeah,
I
so
mean, look, Chris Cluey is the prime example. He stood up for what's right,
And I mean, not even,
and he's unemployed.
Yeah, and not even more harm than good just for yourself, because that's a particular personal example of how it destroyed. I don't know how far it destroyed his career, but
He's unemployed.
Yeah.
I mean, Minnesota had him, and then Oakland was like, "Hey, we'll give you." Oh, wait, no, you're too controversial, and then they
do you
got
think
rid
that
of him.
was? I mean, was that openly said?
Absolutely. Well, Brian Denayan-Badejo, he is by far the best special teams player in the NFL. Pro Bowler because of special teams. Can't get a job.
Yeah, that's the thing. So even on a personal level, it's like that. So then people would say, "Oh, stop being so selfish. You know, you have a platform, you got to use it," which I think is similar to what Jim Brown was saying. But even in coming out, like look at like you said, the LeBron James example and the Trayvon Martin. Did that sway public opinion, or did that get more people pissed? Maybe a 50-50. But the people that were on his side probably are going to be in love with him no matter what he does.
Yeah, true.
But I think with some athletes, if you're not the hugest name like those guys, all you're going to do is get more people to go, "Oh, this is what this guy's about," and they hate you anyway. So it may not even be doing such a good thing for whatever you're trying to spread the message about. You end up getting more people to hate it because people just want to hate.